Hi everybody, I'm Marbozir and welcome back to Let's Play Shadowrun Hong Kong. So, let's continue where we left off. We had a friendly chat with kindly Cheng. And now we need to go to the walled city to deliver a message to Strangler Bao. But let's have a look around first. There's some dude over here that we can talk with. Oh, that's probably a merchant, smuggler. Let's have a chat. Just off the docks you spot a sea-worn man with a smile that's almost too wide for his head. His teeth shine white against the thick black bush of his beard. His clothes are a myriad of colors, patterns and fabrics. A smattering of cultures draped across his body. If there's anything he's clearly advertising, it's the extent of his travels. You see something you like? His voice is coarse, like steel wool on your eardrums. Come and get it, because now's your last chance. Everything is on sale. You won't find prices like these anywhere else, my friend. Show me what you're selling. You're from around here. These goods of yours look like they've changed hands a few times. You're selling stolen merchandise. Well, he is a smuggler after all. I don't think we need to ask him that. You from around here? No, not I. Not here. Plans to leave these waters soon as I wrangle up enough supplies to do so. He leans towards you, voice lower. Breath surprisingly free of alcohol. There are things happening here. Locals call them dreams. I call them evil. And I don't want no more of that. What did you dream about? What do you think they mean? Does it matter? All I remember clearly is how I felt during and after. Drained. As if these dreams leached away some of my good years. No more of that. If you know what's good for you, you'll leave too. Yeah, I'm not in a position to leave. You're just scared. You really think they're that bad? No doubt about it. They're evil, alright? And things like that will only get worse. And even if they don't, you'll never forget them. The feelings, the thoughts. They set into your mind like a stain. Alright, show me what you're selling. Okay, he has some weapons. Some ranged weapons. He has a katana. 650 nuyen. We don't have a lot of money, so I don't think I'm going to buy this. I could. I do plan to go melee weapons, not unarmed. But I'd rather not spend my money right now. We do have a weapon. And we can always use unarmed if you want to. Mana bolt. Some ranged weapons. We could buy a medkit or two, but we might be fine without. Yeah, let's not spend any money just yet. We'll be fine. Maybe. Oh, also, we have some karma to spend. We can definitely spend that. I do have a rough plan already. But first, let's raise charisma a bit. Trolls aren't exactly known for their charisma, but I want to get the second etiquette. And higher charisma will unlock some additional dialogue options as we progress. So we'll get a Shadowrunner etiquette. I want that specifically. Alright, so now we have Academic and Shadowrunner. And I'll probably leave it at that. We can consider raising it to 6 later. That's the maximum for trolls. But that's it for now. We will also increase our body, because we will need more body. Because we'll need the hit points. That's for sure. We will be taking damage. There's just no way around that as a melee. And that leaves us with 0 karma. Alright, so let's move on. What's this? Inspect. Nothing to see here, I suppose. Are there any more merchants around here? There probably are inside, but we can't go in just yet. I assume we'll be able to go in later. Okay then. Well, let's just go do the mission. The thug taps his earpiece, gestures with his head. Auntie Cheng said you'd be coming. You can pass. Uh-huh. Let's go then! So now we have to pick if we want Isabel or Gobet. Tough choice. I might go for Gobet for the healing spell. We'll probably need that. The only other form of healing that we have are medkits. and I don't want to rely on medkits too much. Let's bring Gobet. So, that's our team. City of Darkness. Kowloon-walled city, the most densely populated spot on Earth. Nearly 40,000 people crammed into 7 acres of chaos, poverty, disease and vice. A self-contained city that collects no taxes and provides no city services. Stagnant water sits in temporary wells. Trash lies piled on roofs for controlled burns. Improvised structures lean dangerously over populated areas. It's the ideal breeding ground for all manners of illicit trade. Drugs, gambling, black market trade, meta-human trafficking, and everything in between. The only law is triad law. And now you need to enter the septic system of a city, find a triad enforcer named Strangler Bao, and deliver a message from Kindly Cheng. Sounds pleasant, alright? We don't have anything in our stash, so there's nothing to see here. I could move the flashbang grenade to someone else. Or the medkits. I don't think there's the need to. Can I actually move these items? Yes, I can if I want to. So I could give Duncan the flashbang grenade. If I really want to. Yeah, okay, whatever. Although, he will mostly be in the back. I only have one flashbang grenade. I'll try to not waste it. Alright, let's just go. Foul, oily water rains down from above, mixes with the filth and offal and swill of the streets, turns it into a flowing slurry of unrecognizable sewage. In the distance, the sounds of back alley activity add to the ambience at your arrival. Breaking glass, the crackling hiss of a garbage fire, faint screams of terror punctuated by the occasional gunshot, sex and business and violence and misery blended into one. Wu winces at the sting, waves a hand in front of his face. Raymond said that prosperity is in the walled city, but I don't see it. Why the hell would he want to set one foot in this place? You got me. As I said, the walled city is the worst slum in the eastern hemisphere, maybe in the world. A rat pokes its head out of a fold in her clothing. Squeals softly. She reaches up a hand to comfort it. There's something wrong with this place. It isn't just a slum. It feels poisonous somehow. On an astral level, it churns my stomach to even come near it. Wu nods in agreement. Okay, you were right. This isn't the Barrens. It feels, I don't know, thicker. Which way? The Lotus Den. That's what Bao calls his little corner of hell. I don't know where it is offhand, but I have a way of finding things. They probably aren't expecting anyone to come in force. We can kick in the door, drop the guards, and hand over the message, and get the hell out. Kindly doesn't want them dead. She wants them to remember where their loyalties lie. It's tough to remember much of anything when you've got a bullet in your head. That's true. I mean, we could kill them, but if you really wanted to, technically Bao is the only one that has to leave. But I'd rather keep Auntie Cheng happy than piss her off again. That sounds fair. That will be up to them. This group's safety is my biggest concern. We don't need to risk our necks for a bunch of triad thugs. We may need Kindly Cheng, but she doesn't own us. We make our own decisions. Well, this group's safety is our biggest concern. I like the way you think. Well, we like to not be dead. Damn right. Let's do this. Let's do this! Deliver the data stick to Strangler Bao. Duncan and Gobet must survive. Optional, do not kill any Yellow Lotus. Okay then, no promises. Let's have a look around. Inspect a pile of garbage. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't sound very pleasant. There's a merchant in here, okay. Clothing. I have good quality clothing for sale. There's something good quality in this place? Ever heard anyone say prosperity is in the walled city? Prosperity. I don't know what that means. What's the news here? Anything interesting? Interesting? Here? No. Nothing changes here. Nothing changes. Strangler Bao is the big man now. He is very important, very impatient. You know Bao. We'd love to meet him. Well, he requested a suit, and it took only 1 day longer than expected. The bastard refused to accept it. She spits. You see your friend Bao. You tell him he still owes me for my time. I don't sue for nothing. You can't eat air. If you try really hard, you might be able to. We'll get right on that. You see that you do. Now, what else do you want? Well, nothing, I guess. Let's move on. And another person? Bloodied woman. Okay. What's going on with her? A young woman lies on the ground. She's a bloody mess. Streaks and spatters of crimson crisscross her blouse and mud her hair. Judging by the quality of her clothing and the bag on her shoulder, you'd make her out as a student. She's as out of place here as a librarian would be in a game of urban brawl. She struggles to move, but she's clearly exhausted. The dark circles under her eyes tell you that she hasn't slept in days. When the woman sees you heading her way, her face hardens. You see her hand slip into her jacket pocket, but as she studies your faces, the fear in her eyes gives way to curiosity. You guys don't look like you're from around here. That's right, we're out-of-towners. You either. Who are you? I'm a student. She glances around watchfully, over your shoulder, at the buildings looming above her, into windows nearby. Doing some research. Gotta finish before I can leave. What kind of research? This place is dangerous. What are you doing here alone? I wasn't alone. Not until a few days ago. I've been living with a family in one of the inner blocks for the last couple of months, working on my master's thesis. Funny place to write a thesis. Well, it's true! Her voice takes on a defensive edge. It's the right place for mine. My thesis is on Feng Shui in the 6th Ward. Etiquette academic. Still in the data gathering phase, or are you attempting to verify a hypothesis? Verification. You know much about Feng Shui, specifically how it applies here in Hong Kong. A little. Why don't you educate me? She nods. As you may know, Feng Shui is one of the 5 arts of Chinese metaphysics. Before the awakening, it was thought of as philosophical system for harmonizing people with the surrounding environment. Today, in the 6th Ward, Feng Shui is more than just a philosophical construct. It's actually a form of magic. The whole thing revolves around Qi, the invisible life energy that binds every person and thing together. It's very real here in Hong Kong. Nobody knows the reason why. Maybe it's only real because people believe that it is. The important thing is, it's a measurable, quantifiable phenomenon. There's an entire industry that's grown up around it. How's the Qi in this place? This doesn't look like a place where people are harmonized with anything. It's true. No, it isn't. Not at all. The Feng Shui in the walled city is completely screwed. I mean, just look at this place. She gestures at the squalor surrounding you. The Qi is all wrong here. You can feel it, right? I felt that something was wrong the minute I walked in. Bad Qi, huh? Yeah, bad Feng Shui. Qi needs to flow, or it goes sour. Positive Feng Shui allows that to happen. The woman clears her throat, then lets out a hacking cough. The effort requires a moment for her to recover before she speaks again. You know, I hate to admit it, but I could use some help. I started running and, well, I guess you'd call it an experiment of sorts. Nothing conclusive, just a few quick trials to support my hypothesis before I go into hardcore data gathering mode. Okay, we got a note. There are only a few things left to do. If you could finish them for me, I could get out of here. She holds a crumpled piece of paper. Please, follow the notes. Duncan takes the paper from her outstretched hand and examines it. Just say what you need us to do. I need you to make adjustments to the area's Feng Shui. My notes will tell you how. The goal is to remove sources of friction and to record the results. My hypothesis is that even small adjustments can have a measurable impact on how chi flow. If I'm right, it should improve, and the life here should get just a little bit better. Okay, I'll see what I can do. So, okay. Can we check what exactly we need to do for that? Crumpled node. Okay. Sparking wires. Broken water shut-off valve. Burning tires. Alright. I don't think that had anything to do with this. There was something that we could inspect. No. I don't think that had anything to do with that. We can't go this way. Alright. Let's keep moving then. We'll see if we can do that on the way. There's only one way we can go from the looks of it. There's some person over here. And there's something we can inspect. Oh yeah, wires, right. So, yeah, rip them out of the wall. The problem is gone, but not necessarily resolved. Okay, well, 1 out of 3. So there's that. Let's talk with the merchant. The street vendor gestures toward a jumbled pile of tarnished chains, costume jewelry and trinkets on a stained flannel blanket. Look at these beauties, very valuable, very pretty. Show me what you're selling. How can you stand this place? Ever heard anyone say, well, let's ask him. No, that's not something that anyone would say around here. How can you stand this place? He gives you the stink eye. You mean my home? The vendor softens, becomes wistful. In my experience, you can get used to anything regardless of how horrible it is. It just becomes normal after a while. But this place is getting worse. No question about it. Last 20-30 years, it's been nothing but downhill. Nothing goes right here. Maybe you can change that though, by buying something, eh? Well, show me what you're selling then. Okay, I don't think we want to buy any of that right now. No. Oh, it's consumed when used. I don't think we can afford that luxury just yet, so no. Sorry, dude. We're not going to buy anything from you. Okay, inspect. Oh, that's the Lotus then. That's where we need to go. But let's take a look around first. Spiritual energy. Gobet comes up short. She gestures down at a pile of filthy rags on the ground. A men's shirt encrusted with dried blood and grime. Hey, hold up. This cloth has a lot of negative energy coming off of it. I think there's a spirit bound to it. Interesting. What can you tell me about this spirit? Well, it's a ghost. Either that or a spirit of a man that thinks it's a ghost. It's hard to be sure. She stares at the cloth, frowning. Whatever it is, it's upset. I can feel its anger and sorrow from here. But that's all I can get from it while it's hiding like this. Spirit summoning too. Well, we don't have that. I could coax it out of the cloth and talk with it if you want. Maybe it will lead to something. Or it could attack us and rip out our souls. There's no way to tell without trying. Hey, let's give it a try. Sure thing. Just let me try to establish a connection. Go ahead then. The air above the bloody rags shimmers. Slowly, something close to a man-shaped coalesces into being. A soft voice echoes out from deep inside, as if it began somewhere else. What is this? The spirit peers at you through eyes as soft and undefined as poached eggs. Where am I? You're dead, I'm sorry. You've shed your body, you're a spirit now. Well, yeah, you are a spirit. Spirit. I am? It raises its hands to examine them, blank eyes sweeping over dead flesh. How? You don't know what happened? What's the last thing you remember? The spirit searches the sky for an answer. I was pushed out of my shop, hunted through alleys. The spirit's mouth widens in horror. Bao. Bao and his men. I wouldn't pay them, wouldn't accept their protection. Proud. I was too proud. A cold light flares from somewhere deep its throat. They tore me apart. butchered me like a duck. It searches the sky, the ground, tearing at the memories inside itself. As it relives its own death, a network of deep cuts opens in its waxy skin, spattering black ichor on the ground. The cold light within it grows brighter. It pulses up the thing's throat and into its mouth, forcing its jaw to unhinge like a snake's. A burning radiance pours out of the spirit's mouth like vomit, spattering to the ground in an ectoplasmic flood of anger and despair. Well, that was nasty. If I were in your shoes, I'd want revenge. Maybe you can help us. Hey, maybe it can help us? Help. It looks confused. Lost. You can get us past Bao's guards and into the walled city, so we can find him. You could take out Bao's guards. Give them some of what they gave you. Well, we weren't supposed to kill them, but if the spirit kills them, that's not us, right? They can't blame us for that? Let's go with the first one. The spirit's eyes roll in its head and it shudders, struggling to let passion dissipate. I had a friend. It squeezes its eyes shut as it struggles to remember. A smuggler of animals. He had a space, hidden secret. Yes, spirit. Tell me about the secret place. You know what? Screw it. You deserve your revenge. See those guards? They work for Bao, the man who had you killed. Well, tell us about the secret place. An entrance in the sublevels. The spirit clasps its head in its hands. A chute, a door, red paint, and numbers. 5465. Okay, do we need to remember that? Or will the game remember it for us? 5465. Well, no promises, but I'll try to remember that. Alright then, so let's have a chat with the guards. What else can we do? We can probably backtrack or something? Maybe. No, I don't want that. Right, let's just have a chat with the guards. See what we can do. With this guy, Yellow Lotus Captain. Why not? A well-muscled and heavily tattooed Triad member looks up from his PDA, bored but alert. Behind him, other Yellow Lotus soldiers take notice and turn to leer at you. You're in the wrong neighborhood, tourist boy. You and your little tourist friends. I'm a local, jackass. I work for Kindly Cheng. We all do. Show some respect. The Triad soldier sneers at her. That's so. Then you already know that you shouldn't be here. That fossil doesn't run things around here anymore. His hand strays to his jacket and a conspicuous bulge in the fabric. Could be a gun, a knife, or a blackjack. Best get moving, little girl. Best move before we hurt you all real bad. I'm not gonna tell you twice. We're here to deliver a message. Relax, we're just here to check on the local merchants. Well, we are here to deliver a message. He pauses in mock consideration. I don't think so. We haven't been told to expect anyone. Look, this is a message directly from Kindly Cheng to Strangler Bao. They're both above your station. You wanna stand in the way of that? Okay, well, we do have free charisma, so might as well go with that one. I sure as hell wouldn't. The Yellow Lotus soldier's mouth tightens. This is a trick. You're just trying to get close to Bao so that you can put a bullet in him. Okay, we don't have gang etiquette. We're just couriers. All that we want to do is put a memory stick in your boss's hands and blow. Alright, let's go with this one. No, I don't think so. You don't get near Strangler Bao. He turns away. And you don't talk to us again either, understand? Try to pass my boys, and we'll punch holes in you until your daylight shines through. Alright then, so what about that secret place then? Where exactly do we need to go for that? Well, probably somewhere around here. What was that number again? 5645 or something like that? Let's just take a look around. We can always go past them later, which is probably going to involve killing them. I don't see anything we can interact with. Not much point talking with her again. I don't think so. We're not done. Okay. Not much point talking with the merchant, or is there? Probably not, no. Yep. Nothing to see here, I suppose. Let's look around a bit more. Can we go here? I don't think so, no. We can't. Fair enough. I'm just looking around for something I can interact with, but I'm not seeing anything so far. Well, this is where we came from. Maybe I should have told the ghost to attack the guards. It looks like we might have to kill the guards ourselves at this point. But they did say they don't work for Kindly Cheng anymore, so I don't know. Maybe it will be fine, but we do have an optional objective to not kill any of the Yellow Lotus. So I assume we'll fail that if we kill any of them. We probably will. Yes, we are still working on it. Yeah, we are working on it. So there's nothing I can interact with around here. At least I'm not seeing anything. And I don't think I missed anything either. Not much point talking with that guy again. At least I don't think so. Yep, not much point talking with him. Nothing to see here, just the wires that we already ripped out. Okay, well, I think we'll just have to walk past them and kill them, most likely. Sounds like it. Fine, I suppose we'll do that. Unless... Oh yeah, maybe this is the entrance, right. I thought they will attack me if I just walk past like this, but apparently not. Never mind. Let's take a look around. Yeah, there's a lot more around here. You come upon a heavily muscled Triad soldier screaming at a bearded old man holding a bleeding nose. The punk wags a cheap disposable cred stick in the old man's face. This, the bright plastic case, would look cheerful if it weren't smeared with blood. This isn't enough. You've got two options, old man. You can find a way to pay me all the money, or you can drag your bony ass deeper into the wall. Find a spot for yourself there, with the pimps and the predators. They should find a night's use for you. Your choice. It's not fair. I can't just pack up and leave. I've been living here 22 years and I... Is this how it's going to be? Fine by me. Okay. Well, yeah. That happened. He's not dead though. Maybe we can help him? Oh no, he is actually dead. But he's still moving. Okay, fine. I guess he's dead then. And... Isn't that for the optional quest? I think so. What are we supposed to do with that? Well, these are certainly burning tires. I'm not quite sure what we're supposed to do with that. There's no option to do anything. Anything else we can do here? Nope. So this way. Not much we can do here either. Oh yeah, 2 lower levels. Right. Bucket of sand. Oh yeah, right. Well, this is pretty obvious now. We can use that on the tires, I assume. Yep. So that's going to be 2 out of 3. That's it. So, let's go to the lower levels then. And find that secret passage or whatever. However, I'm going to finish this part here and continue in next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.